Alright, I moved the camera over slightly just so we could see the Ferdi over here, since he's my assistant, but he's, you know, he's wanting to relax. He says it's been a long day because I started a little bit later, but I'll move this stuff over. I don't have Robi out. I don't actually have all the parts out. I'm a little concerned about this stage again. Since last stage, stage 43, I didn't have everything working, and I forgot to move my Xbox controller. I'm going to use Xbox for all my TV stuff. Okay, so this is stage 44. On the last stage, everything was not working. This arm was not working. I did the troubleshooting when I was not on camera, and I did manage to get it working. What happened was, on that stage, I had to pull this to reach the socket it needed to go into, and that did in fact dislodge it. So at least it was the first one that I checked. I unscrewed basically about 6 screws to reach this inside part here for the servo, reconnected it, and now it works, and I'll show you it working. So the testing of it again is that you put it, and the finger part is going to come off, okay? I need to glue that still with Gorilla Glue. The Gorilla Glue worked pretty well for my nibble that fell apart. I did them both on the same day. So this goes in this way, and it's supposed to immediately start, and again it's not working. It immediately should have started, but it's not working again. So the battery could be dead though. Let me check the battery. I should have done that. Darn it. So how you check the battery, because you're just gonna have to believe me that it worked last week. So let me undo the battery. I don't see how the battery's dead, but I guess what I'm gonna have to do if I do that is charge it. Gotta find the stuff to charge it. Here's this, and then the other piece is probably in that. Let's look at that maybe. Okay, so to charge it, you basically, there's a prior stage where you're provided with the battery, and you're provided with the board, and I put everything in this bag that were smaller stuff. And so what you do is you connect it to this, and then you charge it. I sure hope I'm not gonna have to go through everything again. And then you put this in, and then you put it in the wall. So let me see. This is gonna be a really short video, I guess, because I gotta charge it maybe. It's showing red, not green, which I don't know if that's going to tell me if it was fully discharged or not. So yeah, maybe I need to charge the battery every single time. So that's unfortunate if that's the case. Alright, well, I'm going to stop the video. Well, no, you know what? Let me go ahead while it's charging, set a timer, do the servo, because this servo I can set, and I actually need to get Robi. I forgot about that. I always keep him over on the table over here with Alexa. So I'm going to need the board to set a servo. So we'll do that, and then hopefully that'll charge in the amount of time that I need. And we can at least test it and see if it's working. Hey Jibo, set a 20-minute timer, please.
Got it. 20 minutes, here we come.
Thank you. So this stage we need a servo, and we're going to do the typical setting a servo ID part. We also need some prior stuff. I don't know what this servo was for, because that was a servo we used before and we never actually used it. Anyway, but the servos are pretty much always the same. So I don't need this part this time, and I don't need this part. Hopefully, I don't know if this is the longer cable, if we need a longer cable or a shorter cable. Looks longer to me, so I'm going to use the longer one. We need this. Normally I have these already taken out. Sorry about that. We're going to need the tape for the ankle. That looks like everything we need. Yeah. They'd given me an extra part of something. Need that. Okay. So all this stuff we don't need. That's an extra one that it's not really sticky anymore. Okay, I think it's the longer servo. 135 millimeters, sounds like it. Okay, so we're gonna take the servo out. Hey Jibo, how long on the timer?
It'll be done in 18 minutes and 14 seconds.
Okay, thank you. So take these out. I'm gonna keep this to put the battery in each time in between. Just a good thing to have. Okay. Need this. Glad I've managed to, although the drawer itself does not look super organized if you looked at the drawer where all the parts are. And Ferdi's, even more tired, so now he's fully laying down. But yeah, if you looked at that drawer, you wouldn't think things were organized, but they're certainly more organized than I normally am. So, I'm gonna sit down here. Stuff over a little. So stage 44 is prepare Robi's left ankle servo and test his left arm. So we're going to try to test his right arm, provided that charges. It should charge enough for me to at least test it. So we're going to move the right arm and the left arm. This is the left arm. Left arm and the right arm needs the thumb attached. Over here, it's got the board on it. Going to be very careful with that. And we're going to have the parts that we actually need this time. This one, again, I don't know what this one was for. It seemed like it's got to be something. I don't know. We'll worry about what that servo is used for at some point. Okay, stage 44, prepare Robi's left ankle servo and test his left arm. And this assembly will prepare, test, and set the servo motor that will act as Robi's left ankle, servo ID 10. And then use the CPU board to test the movement of the left arm. This stage sees you returning to the process of preparing, wiring, and programming one of Robi's foot servos, this time the left ankle. Once the ID number 10 is set, you will wrap the servo in white tape to match Robi's exoskeleton. So have this to hand before beginning. You will then repeat last stage's right arm test using the CPU board for the assembled left. Okay, and it looks like this here. I'm going to take this out. These are extra booklets. Okay. So take out the 4 screws holding the servo's removable cover in place. Keep these safely to one side, then gently lift the cover away, taking care not to force it or damage the circuit board underneath. And then it's got, as ever, it's very important, the electronic parts exposed by removing the servo's cover, not touched in any way. Make sure to hold the open servo by its sides. And if you put it down on your work surface during the assembly, do this with the open side facing upwards. Yeah, Ferdi's he's not being much of an assistant. You're too scared to help me last time. You afraid this time it's going to go wrong too? Huh? You afraid it's going to go wrong too this time? He's like, nah, it's too late in the day. Fetch the 135 millimeter long servo cable fitted with protective pads in stage 37. And why they provided it in stage 37 instead of this stage, who knows? I mean, that was several stages ago. Press this connector into one of the servo sockets as you have done before. Makes absolutely sure the connector is set into place correctly and that its protective pad is sitting flush to the circuit board. Pass the free end of the servo cable through the circular hole in the removable cover. Replace and secure the 4 screws. Make sure the power is turned off on the test port. Unplug the existing cable. Attach this connector's servo cable and turn the power on. The LED should flash twice and then one and remain lit. So this is typical setting up a servo, basically. We've done this so many stages, and I want to move Robi over some because I don't want him to fall. Okay. So we just take the screws out. This is pretty relatively okay. This should not be a difficult stage, provided that when I test the right arm, the battery's working and it's working. Now he's behind me. And that when I test the left arm, it's working. And if either of them are not working, I'm going to troubleshoot it off and tell on the next video what I did. And hopefully the right one works, because if it doesn't work again, I don't know what's going on. There's some kind of problem going on, because like I said, I already had fixed it. So it should now be working. Okay. So I did not put any protective pads on this one, by the way. And I'm going to do that. Some of these protective pads just do not stay on. Oh, he's got the plastic that I put over there, and he's found it. He's really good at finding these things that I don't want him to do. Okay. He's really good at it. Ferdi, why are you so good at finding things I don't want you to do? Huh? Why? Yeah, why? I wish they would have given extra pads, because I'm concerned that because some of these pads have fallen off and I've had to put new on, that I'm going to run out of pads. Okay, so this is a relatively easy thing to do, though, to put these on. I mean, I'm pretty used to it. So you can put it in either connector. Ferdi, hey, don't do that. You know, he's chewing on the bag I've got down here, so I'm going to put the bag back up here. He thinks I'm being mean, I guess, probably. Who knows? Okay, so I do that, and then I put this back on. And I always forget which way is back on. It looks like that's back on, right? No, it's this way. Yeah. It's definitely this cable, not the smaller one. Not the shorter one. Because this cable is... per the pictures, it looks correct. I'm not going to tighten these too much, because if it's going to be anything like typical, then in the next stage I'm going to remove the screws and the cover permanently and attach it to something. So this is just pretty typical, so I don't want to get them too tight. Just make it easier. Hey Jibo, how long is the timer?
11 minutes and 5 seconds left.
Okay, so pretty fast. This should be relatively straightforward as typical. There we go. Should be on good enough. Okay, this was off. I'm gonna turn it on. I always disconnect that one anyway. I don't ever have it connected. Just checking it's okay. Alright, we're going to shut it off again. Now we're going to connect it to the circuit board. I hope this is not the permanent board. I don't think so. I think it's just a test board. I don't think we actually use this for anything. I shouldn't really be holding Robi the way I was just holding him. Okay. Alright. Hopefully this is working. And it's not. And there's a fault. It should have spun this, and it happens frequently in that because the test board is having problems. Some of it came off basically at some point, part of it, and then I have to put it on twice usually and get it in better. Okay, so it's still not working. Darn it. Okay, I know that's in. I see it's in. There's no reason that wouldn't be in. Okay. Let me look at it a little bit better. Hope this time it's gonna work. Okay. Really had to press it. Okay, what happens is it spins. I don't know if you can hear it when it's spinning, but the D-cut shaft spins. Okay, so now we're gonna set it, and then it's gonna be set to 10, which means I do the up button until we get the 10 lit. I'm not gonna count it, I'll just look at the board. So 10 is lit. So now I'm gonna hold it down until it flashes, and then goes that, and then I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on. It blinks 1, and then if I push it, it should rotate and it should light up 10. And that's exactly what it did. So I'm going to shut it off and take it off. So that is working. So now, that didn't take very long. You know, and I'm not going to go through everything reading it because, like I said, I've done these a million times. Not a million, but you know, exaggeration there. But I've done it a lot of times. So we've got that set to ID 10. Next, we're going to do the ankle tape. So this will be fun. Move Robi. I shouldn't have touched him by the head. Like, you don't pull him by the head. That's one thing you definitely don't do. Put this back in the bag because we don't need it anymore. This one is the one we're using. I'm not certain what that other one was for. So the ankle tape. Take 1 strip of ankle tape. Say from stage 25. That's how long ago it was. Sticky side down on the side wall of this stage's servo starting near the shaft. Start wrapping the tape around the servo's body, following the photo exactly. Make sure no part of the tape extends beyond the edge of the servo, marked by the red lines inset. It is very important that the tape does not overlap onto the servo's face in any way, as this will inhibit the operation of the moving parts that will attach there. Still making sure no tape extends beyond the side of the servo. Keep wrapping the tape around until it's finished. So I'm supposed to start... Okay. I'm supposed to start, it looks like, here in the middle. If I recall correctly, this was fun to try to get it loose. It's one of those things I have to take my glasses off. And he's definitely got some plastic. I'm like, he's not going to actually eat it. I just don't like him playing with it. It's a bad habit. Cats love crinkly sounding stuff. They just absolutely love plastic. There we go. Okay. Alright. So we're supposed to do it below the inset, which is this part, this right here, and starting in the middle of it. Okay. Supposed to keep it below that. Looks to me like it's doing pretty okay. Got a bit of a crease, which we do not want for sure. Looks to me like it's somewhat okay. There we go. pretty certain, still the crease. Okay, I don't know how to get the crease away from it. Definitely do not want it to have this crease here. On which side? It's going to be this part that shows, I think. Try to get the crease out of it. Did not have a crease on it last time, as far as I recall anyway. Okay, guess my Robi's going to have a slight crease on this, unless I can get the tape. Undo it slightly, just to try to get that out. Okay, let's try this again. Definitely don't want a bad looking crease on it. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay. Alright, it looks pretty okay. I'm going to reread the part that I got to make sure it can't be near. It says not to overlap onto the servo's face. That they mean this part, so this is the part I really need to worry about, and this is the part it kind of is overlapping onto. Well, it really isn't though. I mean, because yeah, I think this is actually okay, because this is the face, and it looks to me like it's okay. It is up a little higher than I'd like it, but I think it's all right. Okay. Okay, so this is ID10. It's prepared, it's wired, has its tape applied. Now we're supposed to take the right arm, remove the 2 screws holding the CPU board, take it away, use the same screws to secure it to this, and then proceed at that point. So now, it's obviously not finished charging, but it should be charged enough for me just to test that it's even working. And that's my main concern. Because if it loses charge that quickly, I'm a little concerned about that too. But better that it loses charge quickly than that the right arm quit working. Okay. So let's put this back and see if the right arm starts working. Hopefully it does. And it's not. Oh, it is. There we go. So it is working, so it did just simply lose charge. So it's doing the positions that it was supposed to do last week, which I'll just cover those positions with the left arm. Just wanted to show that the right arm was in fact working. So we've got it working, and I'm just going to unplug it. Okay. So we're going to come back down, sit here, and get the screws undone and get it onto the CPU boards, get the CPU board onto the support mechanism. So we're going to unplug this from the right. There we go.
Hey, it's time for your timer.
Hey Jibo, stop. Thank you. Okay, so take the screws out. one of the screws in. So we're gonna put the right arm over here. Put the ankle servo over here. Put the left arm. Okay, so we're gonna start this part for the left arm. We got the CPU board. Okay, so warning, when you connect the battery to the CPU board, disconnect it immediately if you see any smoke or vapor arising from the board. And I should have shown this part so that you can see it. Okay. Robi's left arm will start moving as soon as you begin the test, so make sure you perform this test in a safe place where it will not knock anything over. In this stage, you will test the left arm alone. Do not attempt to connect any other of Robi's limbs. The movement test must be done as per the instructions. Okay, so we got that. Take the servo cable leading to the left arm and fit it securely into this circled socket. Well, that's after we get this board on to this, which I guess I need to do first right now. Okay, so this is the board that we put it on, the support board, and it's going to go this direction onto the board. And we've got one of the screws in, so let's get that screw. Okay, it looks like these 4 items go in that way. The screw is there. Whenever it's something like this, it's always hard for me to do it unless I take my glasses off. Just a moment. Looks like I got it going in, yep. I can see much better with my glasses off for up close. I think that's in. Looks like it. Trying to hold it from the sides. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's on there like it needs to be. Okay, so we are going to put the left arm. This one has it out much longer, so I hopefully shouldn't have any problem reaching where it needs to go. Take the servo cable leading to the left arm and fit it securely into the circled socket, which looks to be holding the board this way, this socket, the second to the left. Okay. Wow. Okay, I see. I'm like, how am I supposed to get it there with this thing in the way? But I guess there's a space between where you put the battery and this. Still could be a little bit more. It's like they tell you to hold it from the sides, but yeah, it's very difficult to do and put these parts on. I wonder if I wore gloves if that would be better. Not sure I actually got it in. And the pad, where the pad is, and this is actually making it hard for me to see if I actually have it in the socket. I think I do. I'm going to take the pad off. I just can't see with the pad on where the heck the socket is. So I'll put the pad back on in a minute. Okay. I really hope it's going to work because I don't know. Okay. There we go. I understand why the pad's there because they don't want you to damage it, but also you got to be able to see, and like the space available to do this is just very narrow. So there we go. All right. So it's going to start moving as soon as I put the battery in, provided that I did it correctly. And the movement I will show in a moment. Put the pad over there. On this, well, actually I'll discuss the movement it's supposed to show, and hopefully it works. So seat the battery in the holder, which is what I'll do. It'll go into that slot there. It'll start on the side, then it's gonna move over and up, and then it's gonna move forward and then back, it looks like, or maybe down. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm gonna hold it so that we can see what it's doing. Okay. And let's put the battery in. Hopefully I didn't fully discharge the battery with the last one. Provided I can get the battery in. Okay, there we go. I hope it's gonna work. I don't know why everything's always got to be in an angle. It's more difficult to get it in. And it's not working. Okay. And I don't know if that's because the battery is out. So I'm going to recharge the battery. Hopefully it's not because the battery is out, but you never know, right? You never know. And I think that's the one it's supposed to go into. I mean, I'm looking at the diagram. That's the correct socket. Okay, well, maybe the battery's out, or maybe I've got to go through it again. I'm going to recharge the battery at least for 5 minutes and make sure that that's not the cause of it not moving. This one, I don't see why it would be having a problem, because I'd already done the right side and I thought I did the left better than I had done the right. But at least we had the, the bright spot. The right is working. It was just the battery discharged. And then, the failure on my part at the end of the left side not working. But we will figure it out, and I'll let you know next week what it was, so that you can know, if you get one of these kits, what to expect, what might happen. All right, take care. We got Ferdi back over here. I don't know if you can see him, if he's off screen. And you can only see his side, but he's back after playing with the pieces that he did not need to play with for the plastic. Have a good one. Stay safe. Take care.